Yo, how's it going everybody? Welcome back to this Material UI course. In today's video, we'll be talking about how to work with the card component in this library. Now, by the end of this tutorial, we'll have made this little project right here. It's an array of my favorite Naruto characters, and I understand that they don't look anything alike them. This is the only copyright image I could find without Funimation copyright striking this video. If I scroll a little bit lower, we'll see all the characters, and one of them is a little sus. And this is also a dynamic grid, so if I were to zoom out a little bit, we'll see them also increase and decrease in grid size. If I click on this arrow, it'll show a small description and a credit of where the image is from. Perfect. So without further ado, let's get into it. So before we do get our hands absolutely filthy with this component, we do have to run through the documentation really quickly and just learn about that a little bit. So cards are really useful if you want to display a certain amount of UI information such as statistics, images, image descriptions, all that sort of stuff. You're able to do that with the card component. Now this is the basic card that they have right here. It's a simple title, a little bit of content, and a button. And so the way that you would use this card component is really simple. All you would need is a card tag followed by a card content tag within it, and then within that you can put whatever you want. You can put typography tags, you can put a video, you can put images, whatever you want. And there's two different types of variants. You have an outline variant and a regular variant. This first variant right here is the regular one, and down here is the outlined one right here. After that, they give you an example of how to work with the complex interaction. Basically, all they're showing is that when you click on this arrow, it'll show a lot more information. And this is actually what we're going to be implementing in our project today. After that, we have the media tag right here. What they're doing is that they're just allowing a image to be hosted into their card. Now, some images have different sizes. With the image media tag, which is available right here, card media, we're able to actually fit it within our tag itself. Next thing we have is a primary action area. So what this allows us to do is that we can actually click on the entire surface of this card. So wherever we click, it is clickable, and we can run an event to do whatever we want. So let's say if we click on this card, it would open a modal that displays more information about this lizard. After that, there's another example. So we're actually able to supplement only a little bit of the card area to be clicked. So in this case, only this area is clickable, and down here is just a share button that's not clickable. Now at the very bottom, we have our APIs. We're not going to be covering every single one of these APIs. We'll be using a couple of them, but basically all they have is a CSS, the types of imports, and all the different types of stylings that we can do for each of these tags. So without further ado, let's go ahead and actually work with this component. Alrighty, so I've opened up the app that we've been building in the last couple of videos, and I've opened up the card component that we made in the very first routing video. So what I'm going to do, the very first thing is inside of my function card example is I'm going to create a simple useState variable. This is going to be responsible for toggling our little description area that we saw in the beginning. So we'll do const expanded, and we'll do set expanded. We'll set it as a useState variable set as false initially, and let's go ahead and import it from React. After that, I'll just do const handle expanded, and we'll set that to be set expanded to be not expanded, like so. Now we've handled our function code that we need to be able to toggle our description and our button. So after that, what I'm going to do is I created a card array of objects that's going to hold all of our information for our cards. The link to this is in the description down below, so you can copy that if you want. But what it does, it contains a title, a description, an image, and a credit of where I got this image from. They are copyright free, but it is very important to give credit to who actually originally made it. Alright, now let's go ahead and actually deal with creating our grid that is responsive to our window, so it will collapse and uncollapse at certain points. So I'm going to get rid of this card component text right here, and I'll create a simple div tag, and inside of the div tag I'm giving it a style, display grid, grid template columns, a grid gap, justify content, center, align center, and I'm getting rid of this background color right here. This is actually coming straight from GitHub Copilot, so that's really interesting that AI was able to make that automatically by itself. Alrighty, now that we've taken care of all the miscellaneous stuff that we needed, we've created our handle toggle function, we've created our array of objects for our data, and we've created our grid. What I'm going to do is inside of my grid divs right here, I'm going to do curly braces, and I'll do cards.map. So I'll loop over our cards array of objects, and I'll give it a parameter of card. And now what we're going to do is we're going to create our card itself. So I'll do card, and we'll give it a style just so we have a max width. I'll do max width at least, let's do 200 pixels for now. And inside of there we'll do card content, and what this will do is it'll host all of our content that we want for our cards, like our title, description, image, and all the other information that we have. But in this case, since we're only going to be storing our card title in this card content tag right here, I'll just do typography, give it a variant of h5, component h2, and give it card.title like so, and I'll also import typography like so. Next, what we're going to do is we're going to actually import our images, and you might remember how to do that. We talked about it. We're going to be using the card media tag with a self-closing brace, and I'll give it an image, and we'll do card.image like so, and we also want to give it our component as well, so I'll do component, and we'll make it equal to image like so. Perfect. Now if we go into our app, we should see our array of cards right here. So we have Kakashi, Naruto, Itachi, Sasuke, and Madara with their images and their title. Alrighty, now let's go ahead and actually create our handle toggle button. So underneath my card media, what I'll do is I'll do a simple expand more icon, and inside of there I'll do on click, and on click all we're going to do is we're going to run our handle expand function that we made right up here. That just sets expanded to be the opposite of whatever it is originally. After that, what I'll do is I'll make a collapse tag, so I'll do collapse, and I'll do in is equal to expanded with the closing brace like so, and inside of there what I'll do is I'll give it card content. So what this card content will host is going to host all of our description and our button information. So I'll do typography, and I'll give it a body variant of 2 with the component tag of P, so it'll be paragraph, and we'll give it card description, and we'll close the typography tag right there. After that, we'll give it a basic button, so I'll do button, and inside of there I'll give it a variant, and we'll make it equal to contained. We'll give it a color, primary, href. We're going to actually send it to the actual the person who made the actual image, and we'll give it a target of underscore blank so it opens in a new tab. After that, we'll just type in your credit like so. Let's go ahead and import it from Material UI. And now if we check it out, and so now if we click on any of these drop downs, they're all going to open up like we intended, and we can see a small description, and if we click on any of these buttons, it'll show us the credit of who made the actual image. Alrighty, so that concludes this tutorial. It was fairly quick, but I hope that it helped you out, and I hope that you have a better understanding of how to work with this component. And if you did enjoy, be sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.